ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਰ ਪਾਇਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੋਰਮਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ 16 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਜੌਬ ਮੈਕਡੋਨਲਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਵਾਲਮਾਰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਆ, ਯੂ ਨੋ ਲੋਕਲ ਬੋਰਨ ਐਂਡ ਰੇਜ਼ਡ ਇਨ ਸਰੀ, ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਹਾਊਸਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਇਸ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਹਾਊ ਡਿਡ ਯੂ ਗੈਟ ਇਨਟੂ ਦੈਟ?
ਅਸੀਂ ਔਨ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਟੈਂਟ ਸੈਟਅਪ ਕਰਨੇ, lunch tables ਲਾਉਣੇ, if the cast is like Thursday ਜਾਂ first assistant director ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ, like basically anything an assistant would do, 3 things, because ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ direct ਕਰਨਾ, ਮੈਂ shoot ਆਪੇ ਕਰਨਾ, ਮੈਂ editing ਕਰਨਾ, but that's not the case, right? It's overall like a teamwork. ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ learn ਕੀਤਾ, I was shocked, you know, like looking at people like even like craft services, ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ industry 'ਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, like they're all professionals, ਸਾਰੇ filmmakers are, but they're making like food on set, you know, it's like ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ passion ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, ਉਹ different ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ।
ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇਨਫਲੂਐਂਸਰਸ ਕੌਣ ਸੀਗੇ, ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫੋਲੋ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, whether it was like directors or producers or actors, who were you looking up to?
First big film would be like the first Deadpool.
Okay.
ਹਾਂਜੀ, so basically what happened was ਉਹ ਸਾਰੀ movie Vancouver based ਆ, Vancouver shot ਆ, the second one too. ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ I was in college, and ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ professor ਸੀਗਾ, he had some part in the film, he was doing something on set, and ਉਹਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ like for this class, if you guys instead of coming to class just go on set, learn. And I was like, you know, kids my age were like not doing that, they're like nah, like it's like you gotta get up at 6 in the morning. I was there, like I did that for the whole semester.
So ਕਾਫੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਸੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ, early ਉੱਠਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ, right? ਉਧਰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ।
So that made me like stand out of the school. The dean congratulated me.
ਚੈਨਲ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੇ ਗਲੋਬਲ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿਊਅਰਸ ਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਤੋਂ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਮਾਰਨਿੰਗ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੀ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ 'ਚ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਸੀ, ਅੱਜ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਯੰਗੈਸਟ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਮਲਟੀ ਟੈਲੈਂਟਡ ਫਿਲਮ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹਨੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਇੱਕ ਬੱਚੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੈਰ ਪਾਇਆ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮੂਵੀਜ਼ ਪਸੰਦ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮੰਜੇ ਬਿਸਤਰੇ, ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਾਂ, ਬਾਕੀ ਨੈਟਫਲਿਕਸ ਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਦੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਇੱਕ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਸੋ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸੀਰੀਜ਼ ਹੈਗੇ ਸਬਰੀਨਾ ਵਰਗੇ, ਸੀਕ੍ਰੇਟ ਗੇਮਸ ਵਰਗੇ, ਤੇ ਮਿਊਜ਼ਿਕ ਗੀਤ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਾਈ ਰੇਟਡ ਗੱਭਰੂ, ਇਸ ਜੱਟ, ਸੋ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਜੈਕਟਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਸ ਲੜਕੀ ਨੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ। ਐਂਡ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਦ ਯੰਗੈਸਟ executive producer, award winning creative director, writer ਵੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ, and like I said she's multi talented. so ਬਾਲੀ ਦੇਰ ਨਾਲ ਨੋਦੀ ਹੋਈ, ਆਓ ਆਪਾਂ ਰਲ ਕੇ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਕਰੀਏ ਅਮਨ ਵਾਸੀ ਦਾ। so ਅਮਨ, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
yeah ਅਮਨ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ 16 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਰ ਪਾਇਆ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੋਰਮਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ 16 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਜੌਬ ਮੈਕਡੋਨਲਡਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਵਾਲਮਾਰਟ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ, ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਕੂਲ ਵੀ ਗਏ ਆ, ਯੂ ਨੋ ਲੋਕਲ ਬੋਰਨ ਐਂਡ ਰੇਜ਼ਡ ਇਨ ਸਰੀ, ਐਂਡ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੈਂਕੂਵਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਹਾਊਸਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ ਇਸ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਹਾਊ ਡਿਡ ਯੂ ਗੈਟ ਇਨਟੂ ਦੈਟ?
Basically I did my online research. Online ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ I would just show up like set ਤੇ usually ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ, oh you're young, you know, usually you need to be 18. But ਉਸ time Vancouver was very busy, so they were always looking for like production assistants to help, like, you know, on set or help like get the cast their food and all that stuff. So I just jumped in any opportunity I got.
Great. So ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਅਸਿਸਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ, ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜੌਬ ਹੈ 16 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਦੀ, ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ?
So production assistants known as PA, ਇਹ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨਸ ਦੀ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ। So basically ਅਸੀਂ ਔਨ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਟੈਂਟ ਸੈਟਅਪ ਕਰਨੇ, lunch tables ਲਾਉਣੇ, if the cast is like Thursday ਜਾਂ first assistant director ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪਾਣੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਉਣਾ, like basically anything an assistant would do.
So ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੈਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਇਆ? So anything?
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਉੱਥੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਨੈਕਸ਼ਨਸ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਣਾਈਆਂ and started meeting people, talking, communication, and meeting directors and assistant directors.
Great. So ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੀ ਸੁਪਨਾ ਸੀ 16 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੇ? ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਸ਼ਨ ਹਾਊਸ ਉੱਥੇ ਗਏ ਕਿ ਵੀ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਾ ਕਿਤੇ ਮੇਰੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਿਊਸਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਰਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਕੀ ਸੀਗਾ ਨੀਸ਼? ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਵੀ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਲਮਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਿਊਸ ਕਰਾਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟਾਰ ਕਰਾਂ, ਕੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ? ਵਾਟ ਵਾਸ ਕਾਈਂਡ ਆਫ ਦ ਮੇਨ ਆਊਟਕਮ ਦੈਟ ਯੂ ਵਾਂਟਡ?
ਜਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਓਨਲੀ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਐਡੀਟਿੰਗ ਐਂਡ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟਿੰਗ ਔਰ ਕੈਮਰਾ। ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਮੂਵੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਕੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ, ਲਾਈਕ you know, ਕਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਆ। So over time I learned, okay, there's producers, there's directors, there's executive producers, there's so many people that make a movie. It's just not the 3 things. Because ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਸੀ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਡਾਇਰੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੂਟ ਆਪੇ ਕਰਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਐਡੀਟਿੰਗ ਕਰਨਾ, but that's not the case. Right? It's overall like a teamwork. ਉਦੋਂ ਮੈਂ learned ਕੀਤਾ, and I was shocked, you know, like looking at people like even like craft services ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ industry 'ਚ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ like they're all professionals ਸਾਰੇ filmmakers are but they're making like food on set you know it's like ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦਾ passion ਹੈਗਾ ਆ ਉਹ different ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਆ
right so ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ time ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ influencers ਕੌਣ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ follow ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ whether it was like directors or producers or actors who were you looking up to
so at that time I still do Martin Scorsese George Lucas Quentin Tarantino
right
Yash Raj Karan Johar
right so ਕਾਫੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਨਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਹ inspiration ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਹ production houses ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੇ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਉੱਤੇ connections ਬਣਾਉਣ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ you started doing the networking what was kind of your biggest break ਕਿੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਏ ਕਿ you know obviously ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੇ ਮਕਾਮ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਏ ਆ ਕਈ ਵੱਡੇ directors ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ actors ਦੇ ਨਾਲ singers ਦੇ ਨਾਲ but what was your first break you know around that age
so my first big film would be like the first Deadpool
okay
ਹਾਂਜੀ so basically what happened was oh sari movie Vancouver based Vancouver shot the second one too udo I was in college and mera jehda professor siga he had some part in the film he was doing something on set and onne kya si we like for this class if you guys instead of coming to class just go on set learn and I was like you know kids my age were like not doing that they're like nah like it's like you gotta get up at 6 in the morning I was there like I did that for the whole semester
so ਕਾਫੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਸੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ early ਉੱਠਣਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ right ਉਧਰ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ
so that made me like stand out of the school the dean congratulated me from there I met the director of the film
wow
and we started talking and then udu baad choo I applied for the union udu baad choo I got in a few unions in Vancouver and after that after the union when you're available they call you and stuff and you're on the list and from there I was kept my schedule available at time I was doing like 2 different shows in like a day
wow
it was crazy I wasn't sleeping because I just wanted to get my days in the more days you have the more work they give you
right
of the experience
so were you still going to school at the same time
yes I was
wow
doing
okay
school. So I was doing like 3 days of school at that time I was about to graduate so I was doing 3 days of school I was doing like on the side like small commercials even weddings and then on the weekends or if they're not filming on the weekends on like Monday to Wednesday I would just go on set like different films like every day different shows
wow okay that's amazing so like Netflix right okay so ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ movies ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ Netflix is something completely different ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ it's something new you know ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ qualifications ਹਨ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ did you actually do formal like school or was it just your experience that got you to this
it was knowing the right people so when I was working as a production assistant I made a lot of friends you know a lot of lifetime friends and a lot of people that I knew ended up you know at Disney or Netflix
Disney's is huge
Disney's huge I worked at Disney before Netflix
wow
so Disney like Netflix Sony Music Sony like everywhere and I had a really good friend and she used to work at Disney and then she worked at a creative studio in Vancouver for visual effects at Lucasfilm I worked there as a production assistant and a junior editor for like a few months and I was like and then she moved up to like working at Netflix on Netflix productions and they were looking for people I had applied like for a year because they only accept like 2 applications so I applied like twice I didn't get in and then she was like looking for people and she's like hey Amit are you interested it's gonna require you to leave your job at Disney and I'm like I'll give it a shot so I tried it out I just really loved the environment working on the set and it was just completely different and getting more opportunities and travel opportunities too
because obviously ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕਦੇ so you'd have to you know travel like obviously to the States and whatnot so that must have been like at such a young age
it was very new and it was like crazy because it was like the very first time because at that time Netflix was like building bases around the world so they had Netflix India China Hong Kong everywhere right so they were building bases they were looking for crews like there's so many people that work there you know there's so many shows and for me to get in at that time in Vancouver there was less competition now
so prime like, time siga pair pawn was industry de vich
so that time I kind of just you know stuck with it I took the long hours took the long days took the weird shifts you know weird positions and it was all good. And
ਸੋ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਹੀ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕੀਤੀ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਕੀਤੀ, ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਆ। ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘੰਟੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਲੰਬੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸ਼ਿਫਟਾਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ that were clashing, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਲਾਸ਼ ਹੋਇਆ, and you were traveling. So that must have been a lot to juggle. How was your family supporting you through all this?
My family was, at first they were like movies ਬਣਾਉਣੀਆਂ, like ਚੱਲ ਕੰਮ ਕਰ ਲਾ।
ਉਹ ਵੀ ਨਾਲੇ ਕਿ ਕੁੜੀ ਵੀ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਵੀ ਉਹ ਇੱਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਸੈਟਸ ਤੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਕੁਝ ਵੀ, ਹੈ ਨਾ।
At first I wasn't like making, like I'm gonna be honest, like not making any money. I was not like something you would not survive off of, right? But I just had the passion and drive because I knew there was people like that were making like so much money within a week, and I was like, I want to get there one day, hopefully, right? And I just kind of followed their footsteps.
Right. So ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਸਟਰਗਲਸ ਦੇ। ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਬਾਲੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਦੇ ਸੀ, ਯੂ نو ਆਬਵੀਅਸਲੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਕਰੀਅਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਬੱਤੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਤੋੜਨੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਇੰਨੇ ਥੋੜੇ ਪੈਸੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ। ਸੋ ਆਪਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰੀਦਾ ਆ, ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਡੈਡੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਘੰਟੇ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ 'ਚ ਪਾਈਦੇ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਕੋਈ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ। ਸੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਸਟਰਗਲਸ ਕੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਅਤੇ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਔਰਤ ਸੀ, you were female, and then obviously you know ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਕਲਚਰ ਹੈ ਸਾਊਥ ਏਸ਼ੀਅਨ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਮੂਵੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਇੰਨਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਗਾ, ਇਹ ਛੱਡ ਕਾਹਤੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ। ਸੋ how did you overcome all that, and what was your biggest struggle ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹਾਲੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਆ ਕਿ, because obviously you're still young, it wasn't like it was long ago, it was just, you know, like a hop, skip and a jump away. So how did you overcome all that, and what were the biggest struggles?
So my biggest struggles was just like when I was starting out, right? First of all, I was very young, so nobody took me seriously. So I had to work like the extra mile.
Right.
Second thing, when I started doing camera work and stuff, I was a girl, so a lot of people would be like, oh, like she's gonna do Steadicam or she's gonna do the gimbal. Like
ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੈਮਰਾ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ?
They would just overlook me, and like when nobody would be available, they would call me, and I'd do it, and I'd do like a decent job or a better job than a lot of people, and then people just started calling me. They're like, oh, there's this Aman person, and a lot of people thought I was a guy because of my name.
Aman ਵੀ ਮੁੰਡਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਕੁੜੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਵੀ ਨਾਂ ਆ।
And because it's Aman, so for a lot of people that are not Indian, they thought, oh, like a man, like you know, like a camera guy. So it was like, it was really funny at times. You know, I would get calls. Hanji, tusi kam kar do, Paji. I'm like, no, I'm Aman, like I'm a girl. So then people would doubt that. So first they would call me, they would look at my work, then they'd be like, oh, it's a girl, you know. Then people would doubt that. But then like I had the opportunity to work with really big directors, even in the Punjabi Bollywood industry and Hollywood. And then people are like, oh, there's this girl, she works with all these directors.
Right.
And then people were like, oh, she's able to, like, she's capable of doing what a guy can do. And it's just not me. There's so many girls that go through that, and I want everybody to have a light shine on them. Just because you're a girl doesn't mean like you're not strong enough to lift cameras, because I do that. Like it's totally fine.
So did your upbringing have a lot to do with your person as a whole, you think? Yeah.
I was raised to be like very strong and not like not care about what people say. That was just like my family, the way they raised me. And I grew up playing sports. I played ice hockey, so that was also.
So like, you're already doing things out of the box where so you know a girl usually doesn't do. That's awesome. That's great. So let's talk about you know Netflix versus some of the feature films that you've done, because Coffee Awards is films ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮਿਲੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ, Oscars as well. So ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਦੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂਆਤ 'ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀਗੀ, you've done, you know, Sabrina, Firefly Lane, Sacred Games, and then you've done feature films like Jumanji, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ Netflix ਕਰਦੇ ਆ versus feature films ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਕੀ ਫਰਕ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ films ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ producing ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ sets ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ?
So basically on Netflix there's not big differences, because when there's a Netflix feature film, it's like pretty much same as any other feature film. But when it's a Netflix show, it is a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller crew, maybe less budget. And then when you're doing a feature film, there's a lot more locations. You have a lot more bigger budget. You might work a lot more hours, because where you're doing a show, you can get time extended because you're doing like a few seasons in a few months, so you have time. Whereas if you're doing a film, if it has a deadline, like okay, it's got to be done by this time to be released in theaters by this time, so you're crunched. If you have 45 days, you have 45 days, right? If you go over, it's like a whole lot. And a lot of producers aren't happy with that. A lot of, you know, productions don't want to go over that. They usually want to keep it under that or like at that number.
So ਜਦੋਂ ਇੰਨਾ pressure ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ, you know, ਇੱਕ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ you've got a script that you've got to stick to rigorously, you know, what's the hardest decisions that you got to make when you're producing?
When you're there's so much pressure, just not for producers or directors, like the whole crew, because the biggest pressure would be like the time. Sometimes we would have actors that show up like 2 hours late, so that's like bad on the makeup department because now they have to rush.
Right,
But if it's like a scene where like he's getting cut or like shot and it's a blood scene and it doesn't look right, the director's yelling and the assistant director is like, you know, yelling, and usually like nobody says anything to the stars. So it's like it goes on to the other departments, and if one department on a set is upset, it gets around to everybody.
Right, okay, because you know obviously you're feeding off of each other's energy. So ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਮੂਵੀਜ਼ ਦੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਗੀਤ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੀਏ. Obviously Channel Punjabi ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਾਫੀ viewers ਆ, you know, they're following all these the films and music. So ਤੁਸੀਂ obviously ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ like, and that's huge just to get into Hollywood and Disney right away, right off the bat. But then you decided to kind of make a transition, or in between you were doing, you know, Bollywood stuff and Bollywood stuff. So tell me kind of what your break was there and what made you decide that you were going to go that route.
So I was starting out, this was like, I think I was, I don't remember my age, but this was like when High Rated Gabru came out. So I had a few friends that I met. My friend Raj Tiwana, he was heavily into the Punjabi industry. He's worked at White Hill and stuff. And he's like, come in, I got this video I want to do. Come, like, join us. And we did this video, and I really liked the way they shot Punjabi videos. Like, jidda shoot karde na, meri pehli video sigi, and I was like, this is like, you guys shoot like shota crew and like ghar wangu mahal, and I really liked that. Then I was like, oh, this is so nice, and like set te cha pee jande ha, you know, there's protests, like I don't get that.
You don't get that, right?
And I was like, this is so cool. And the way we just worked on that project with Duvacha, I was like, okay, I want to try to do something. And then through my friend and the other people I met, I met director Gifty. Somehow we just crossed path because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ DOP hire ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ for Guru Randava's High Rated Gabru, that company just, they happened to knew me somehow. Like it was like, because they worked on Hollywood productions too, so we had met before. So somehow like it just connected. And then udu baad chos director Gifty nu mile, and he's like, oh aap video karni, this and that, idde karni, so is karni. And at that time I was like, okay, let's do it. And ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ, you know, bags chuck in, we went to Sois, we went all around Vancouver, North Vancouver, like shot the video within like 2 days, and and then that video ended up being like so big.
Guru Randhawa is big, so you got to work with him right off the bat, which is, you know, great.
Now it's so big, it's amazing to see the views, and it was like, wow, that was like my first piece of work in the Punjabi industry.
That's great. And ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਿਲਮਸ ਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗ ਪਏ, ਅਰਦਾਸ ਕਰਾਂ ਮੰਜੇ ਬਿਸਤਰੇ, PR. And so do you like working, you know, ਜਿਹੜੀ Indian films versus the music videos? What's the big difference there?
I like the big difference with the music videos is it's like they can be done within 2 days or 3 days, you know, max a week, whereas in films it is like a longer process. So I do like working on the films. It's like you get to be like around the people, the good energy for a longer time, and you get to like eat, and like the way the food is on set, like that's, if people know me,
ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਖਾਣੇ ਵਾਲੇ ਆ ਨਾ, ਉਧਰ ਚਾਹ ਪਾਣੀ ਪਕੌੜਿਆ.
Definitely. I love that. The way that like the set te sara hunda, and through that like I've made friends, like I've become friends with some really big stars in the Punjabi industry that I grew up watching, like Rana Ranveer, Gurpreet Guggi, you know, I know them now, like we text each other,
and they're great. They're great.
It's kind of cool. You know, I watched them grow up doing comedy, and now like
ਕਦੀ ਇਹ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ, you know, ਚਾਹ ਪਕੌੜੇ ਖਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਜਾਂ
that's crazy.
It's great. I mean, not only ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ, you know, ਇਸ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ, ਤੁਸੀਂ you're multi-talented, like I said in the beginning, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਵੀ ਆ, and you've released 3 singles and just a recent one in April. And you know, let's talk about your music. You know, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਗੀਤ ਹੈ vibe ਕੀਤਾ, you featured Snappy in there, which is a great, you know, he's awesome, big name in the industry. YouTube ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ views ਹੈ 2 ਲੱਖ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਤੇ cross ਹੋ ਗਿਆ. ਫਿਰ ਚਲ ਜਾਣ ਦੇ, you know, you're most trending on Spotify, so ਉਹ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ successful ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਗੀਤ ਹੋਇਆ. ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ 3rd single ਆਇਆ ਮੇਰੀ ਜਾਨ, so ਜਿਹੜਾ, you know, ਇੰਨਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ already busy ਆ, ਇੰਨੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਉਮਰ ਅੱਗੇ ਛੋਟੀ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ travel ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ you know, you were doing your schooling, you're working, I know ਤੁਸੀਂ gym ਦੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਸ਼ੌਕੀਨ ਆ, so ਇਹ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹੁਣ ਆਹ ਲਿਖਣ ਤੇ ਗੀਤ ਸੰਗੀਤ ਦਾ, how do you manage it?
I just do, ਮੈਨੂੰ I don't like being free.
Okay.
That's my like
Villain
that's
nahi
a
reh
good
sakde.
thing and a bad thing at
Yeah.
the same time.
Okay.
You know, my friends are always telling me, calm down, relax, like, you know, chill,
Take
like
it
you don't
easy.
need to be working all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm like in a crowd, like if like my friends are hanging out, you know,
Yeah.
they're hanging out, I would write a song about that situation.
You would, right? Definitely.
And that's what like Vibe is kind of based off.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that song I wrote and then when I met Snappy, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਆਪਣਾ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਗਾਣਾ ਚੱਲੀ ਜਾਣ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ, he loved it. He's like, oh, this is amazing.
It is, yeah.
I met him and Rav Hunter, who's also a writer.
Yeah.
And then they were like, this is good.
Yeah.
And then I told Snappy, I'm like, I want to do something, you know. He's like, let's make something commercial. And he
Yeah.
was right. The vibe just like, not only in the Indian community, people in India, like people in the Pend are listening to my English song like on their tractors.
It's fusion, right? Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
and like with the Tumbi and all that.
Yeah.
And then here too, people in Thailand, it's playing in clubs in Thailand and like all over the world. It was just crazy. Like when people were sending me that, I was like, that's my song.
That's your song.
And one funny thing happened was when I was in LA, I was on Venice Beach. I was walking around and I walked into a shop. As I walked
and it was
in,
playing your song?
my song was playing. I was like, this is
That's
crazy.
The universe is just saying, you know what, keep doing more of what
Music
you're doing.
is universal.
Yeah. Is there any out of any you're writing, whether your songs or anything else you write, any words or any lines that you want to share that are really close to your heart? You know, something ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦਿਲ ਦੇ ਟੁੱਕਦਾ ਹੋਵੇ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਝਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੋਗੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲਾਈਨਸ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਹੋਣਗੀਆਂ?
ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਗਾਣਾ ਆ, ਇਹ ਹੁੱਕ ਲਾਈਨ ਆ ਮੇਰੇ Punjabi gane di.
Okay.
I'll share it.
Yes.
It's kind of senti.
Yeah, we love senti.
It goes like this. Tera cheta bhi pulaya, tera cheta nahi pulda. Kise ਹੋਰ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਮਿਲਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਦਿਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਖੁੱਲਦਾ.
Wow. Yeah. And you know, sometimes, you know, the senti songs are what kind of, I think everyone can relate to them, right? Let's talk a little bit more about COVID-19 and how it's hit the industry. Apne pata ya ki corona nu leke sari jehdi industries ya बहुत हिट हुई खास करके जी फिल्म इंडस्ट्री आ सो तुसी की नोटिस किया खास करके तुहानू किवें इफेक्ट होया किहड़ियां चीज़ां हुण ज़्यादा द हार्ड हिट इन योर इंडस्ट्री?
In this industry, a lot of sanu affect kita. A lot of my crew members and peers are affected by this because a lot of people do like in the industry are freelancers. So a lot of people are like, you know, they were freelancers, so their job was like from one show to the other show, and I've done that too myself, right? So it was kind of hard to see everybody like go through the struggle. But to see the BC film community, like DGC, come together, and the way they've handled it is amazing. I just want to let them know that they're doing an amazing job for their employees, every single crew member, cast member. It's a good thing. And worldwide, the show that I was doing before this hit, I was in LA and I was working on a show, and I had to fly back because they just said it wasn't safe for me there. Due to the outbreak there in California, I came back. I want to finish that show hopefully, because I think that film is going to be like really big. It has really big cast, and it's just going to be a big film. And right now we would have been done that, and we would have been working on the post-production. So it's like the delay of time now, and because with the actors, it's also like their schedules.
Right.
They had other shows, you know, they had other movies to do. So it's kind of like that's like the hardest part is the scheduling now, because I know everybody understands, but some people don't.
Yeah.
And it's the scheduling, and that's going to be a big stress. But right now we're all working as like a team. It's not like one company or the other company. The whole industry, I think around the world, even in India, they're all just understanding and just working
one day
as
at a time.
Yeah.
Now as we're nearing the end of our show, मैं चाਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਲਫ਼ਜ਼ਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੇ ਜਿਹੇ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਫੀਮੇਲਸ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਇਹ ਸਟਰਗਲਸ ਓਵਰਕਮ ਕੀਤੀਆਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ ਬਾਲੀਵੁੱਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਪੈਰ ਪਾਇਆ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਕੁੜੀ ਹੋਣ ਦੇ ਨਾਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਬੰਦੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਕੀਤਾ ਐਂਡ ਈਵਨ ਦੋ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਤੇ ਇੰਨੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਔਰ ਯੂ ਨੋ ਦੇ ਵਰ ਡਾਊਟਿੰਗ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਅੱਜ ਨੌਜਵਾਨ ਹੈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਯੰਗ ਹੈ ਸਰੀ ਦੇ ਜੰਪ ਵਾਲਿਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕੀ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ?
ਮੇਰੀ ਐਡਵਾਈਸ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਡੋਂਟ ਗਿਵ ਅਪ ਆਪਣਾ ਕੰਮ ਤੇ ਫੋਕਸ ਕਰੋ ਬਿਕਾਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗੁੱਡ ਕਰਦੇ ਬੈਡ ਕਰਦੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਕਿ ਸਮਟਾਈਮਸ ਲੋਕੀ ਵਿਲ ਸੇ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਛ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨਾ ਕਦੇ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਪਰ ਇਫ ਯੂ ਫੋਕਸ ਔਨ ਯੋਰ ਵਰਕ ਕੰਮ ਆਪਣੇ ਮੂੰਹ ਨਾਲ ਨਾ ਬੋਲੋ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਮ ਨਾਲ ਬੋਲੋ ਐਂਡ ਦੈਨ people will back off. They'll be like, oh, she's on to something.
I like that line.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
That's what I do.
I love that, and I think it's so true. You know what? You have a promising future ahead. Good luck. We look forward to seeing, you know, your name on all these other productions coming up soon. And when you have a new project, definitely sana aake jarur update kariyo.
For sure.
And we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਸੰਦ ਆਇਆ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ ਸੋ ਯੂ نو ਇੱਕ ਛੋਟੀ ਉਮਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਦਮ ਉਠਾਇਆ ਆ ਇਟਸ ਡੈਫੀਨਿਟਲੀ ਇਨਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੋ ਉਮੀਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਵੀ ਕੈਨ ਆਲ ਖਾਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੌਜਵਾਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਟਿਊਨ ਇਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਫੋਲੋ ਹਰ ਫੁੱਟਸਟੈਪਸ ਸਮਵੇਅਰ ਅਲੋਂਗ ਦ ਲਾਈਨ ਸੋ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਸ਼ੋਅ ਇੱਕ ਨਵਾਂ ਗੈਸਟ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਵਾਂਗੇ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਸੁੱਖੀ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਆਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਭਰੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ
ਸਾਡਾ ਹਰ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਵੇਖਣ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨ ਲਈ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਚੈਨਲ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਤੇ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਟਨ ਤੇ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋ